So anyone who knows me knows that I am overly emotional, so I will warn you ahead of time that I'm going to try to keep it together, but I already see Coach Arbuckle, and when I look at her, she makes me cry. So, so I'm gonna pretend like I'm talking just to these people over here, so that I don't look at her. So, first of all, I want to thank President Rood and the MCAA for this honor, and I'm sitting up here and hearing even the remarks for the previous recipients of their awards are incredible. So I'm in great company up here. I first and foremost want to thank my parents, Mark and Debbie Romick, who put up with with a very strong-willed child, and so that's never easy. I am, for the most part, a local girl, and I went to River High School, and so I've been around the area for years and years, and I started attending camps when I was little at Marietta College. So I've loved Marietta College for a long time, and my parents have supported me emotionally, physically, and thankfully financially over the years, and they've gone along with a lot of my harebrained schemes. They've followed me around all over the country for softball, basketball. Little known fact, I used to be a competitive rifle shooter for a number of years, and so I traveled around the country doing that as well. So I thank them for always supporting me and going along and never saying no. And so they actually, my mom and dad always really sort of lived by the motto, go big or go home. And so that is what I took along with me in my personal life and in my career. And so, I mean, I think that that's a great motto to live by. And I think it's maybe not a spoken, but an unspoken PIO model that I think that a lot of us live by. So I thank them for that. I have been very lucky to have a lot of my grandparents in my life, and my grandmother, Nancy Eddy, is able to be here. And she, every Sunday, she still cooks dinner, and we all sit down around the dinner table when I'm in town to almost 40 family members every Sunday from a big family. So that was a huge support for me while I was at Marietta College to have that weekly home-cooked meal, and to sort of get razzed and picked on by the aunts and uncles in the family. And so I thank them for, again, the unwavering support that my grandparents and all of my enormous family has given me. One thing that a lot of people probably forget or don't know, that I actually was a transfer student to Marietta College. So I originally went on a Division I scholarship to James Madison University to play softball, and made a very poor attempt at balancing being a science major and also being a Division I athlete. Which, for those who aren't aware, you're a Division I athlete first, and you are a student second, and that did really not bode well for me. And so I made the decision I'm also, I'm very close to my family, and I made the decision to consider coming back closer to home. And so I started visiting colleges, and I thought, Division III, okay, I can still play softball, but I can also focus on my studies. And I sat up in a room with Coach Jean Arbuckle, and she never batted an eye, and she told me, here you will be a student first, and you will be an athlete second. I will never question your decision to attend classes and anything academic related over a practice, over a game. And I thought, that's a big promise. That's a lot of talk, and it's a lot of stress, and it's a lot of weight on a kid's shoulders to try to take on chemistry, biology, biochemistry, and also play the sport that you love. And I have to say, the promise was 110% kept. There was never a question. Our big rivals were, I still remember, and it killed me, and I still remember we were getting ready to practice the day before playing Muskingum, and Muskingum was our big rivals in softball. And I had an afternoon chemistry lab, and I said, I'm going to try to miss this chemistry lab, Coach. I have to be at practice. I have to be at practice. And she said, you better not show up at this practice. I better not see you at this practice. And so I think I probably broke a world record for completing a biochemistry lab in the fastest amount of time without burning something down. But I remember I got there maybe with like 5 minutes left, and she let me hit a few balls. She said, I can't believe you're here. I finished the lab. But that was just the type of person that she is, and that sort of the program that she had built. And so I wanted to first thank her for allowing me that opportunity to, again, play the sport that I love and continue to love, but make it so that I never had to decide. She decided for me, and it was always class. So I thank her for that. And then two people that are sitting in the front row who I met very early on, who have played a big role, and that is Dr. Debbie Egoff and Dr. Bob Walker. And I heard some sort of story where shortly after I graduated, he realized he just couldn't take it anymore, and he retired. So it's just I may have been the beginning of the end for Dr. Walker. So it's really amazing, because I think a lot of people don't realize it's a small chemistry department. I was the lone senior chemistry major and graduate from my class, and I don't think that their office doors were ever closed. They gave me a key, and the students I ate lunch with yesterday could not believe that I oftentimes slept on the couch that's still in the room that sits in the corner. And so, I mean, that was the type of people. It was, here's a key, and, I would go to 6 a.m. practice, and then I would, come over in my sweats and my t-shirt and to PChem or biochemistry class. And so, it was a definite team effort, and it was just so, you could just tell they cared. And now that I've gone through a lot of science courses in graduate school and beyond, I mean, I can say that the education in the chemistry and biochemistry coursework at Marietta is second to none. I mean, you're getting the best educators here. So I'm very thankful for that, and I thank the college for employing people who really care about educating students. I have to finally thank the guy that probably one of my greatest gifts from Marietta was my husband, Andrew. He was down on the front row. And so oddly enough, we actually met and started dating in Dr. Walker's quantitative analysis class. So we were, and now he, with my job, it is a lot of times it's long hours, and so I thank him for taking on sort of definitely the dad role, but also a lot of the mom role, as we have 2 young daughters. And so I thank him for all of his support and for being there to talk about science experiments, which are always fun. So I would just like to thank everyone again for this honor, and I'm proud to be a pioneer. So thank you.